Something smooth yet sinister, coming through to diminish you. And this here's the finisher. Check it out.
What is going on, guys? Trey coming back at your screen by means of the World Wide Web. And today for this video, we are going to now follow up to the top 5 water units video with the top 5 earth units video. Alright, so let's go ahead and get smack dab into it, guys. Discuss my opinion on the top 5 units in Global Brave Frontier to this date. Alright, so the number 5 spot is going to actually go to a unit that I don't have, guys. Alright, but the information I will throw off on the left side of the screen. So take a look to the left side of your screen, guys, and introduce yourself to my number 5 pick, Malachite Pike Dravis. Alright, I have not pulled him out of the gate yet, unfortunately, so this is the best I can do for you guys. Alright, so Malachite Pike Dravis, the reason we're going to give him the number 5 spot. Alright, so let's start with the leader skill. Leader skill is useful. Alright, and the main reason it's useful is because it not only negates status ailment, but it still gives a stat boost with that. Alright, many of the leaders in the game that negate status ailments, they don't give a stat boost with it at all, and that's not good for some of the more difficult content where you're going to want to use a leader skill like this. Alright, so in addition to negating status ailments, he does gives a 30% boost to max HP and defense. And then also he gives a 15% flat damage reduction from fire and earth type units. Period. Alright, 15% knocked right off the top because they're fire or earth type. Alright, so that's a very useful leader skill. Alright, that's something that's very useful for some of the trials in the game. Okay, some of the trials that you may have already beaten by the time this unit was released, but still very useful. Alright, now his extra skill helps make him a very solid unit in my opinion. Okay, his extra skill, it negates status ailments on himself, but it also adds status ailment removal to BB and SBB, which is perfect. Alright, that's very good. Alright, because that's part of what helped makes this unit very good. So not only can he remove status ailments, with his BB he's able to remove and negate status ailments. Alright, and he also is able to give status ailments with his BB and SBB. Alright, so with the BB, he removes negate status ailments, does an AoE earth attack. When you get attacked, you have a chance of countering the enemy with status ailments for 3 turns. And then he also gives a damage reduction from water and thunder units. Alright, so you see something going on here, guys. Okay, you got damage reduction from fire units and earth units with his leader skill, and then with his BB and his SBB, you're getting a damage reduction from water and thunder units. Pretty nice stuff there. Okay, now with the SBB, he does pretty much all the same stuff he does with his BB, except he can't negate status ailments. Alright, he does not negate status ailments with his SBB. Instead, he boosts the amount of damage that you inflict against units that have status ailments on them. Alright, so you know, it's exchanging stuff there. Alright, instead of getting the flat boost on, or instead of getting the status ailments being negated, you're going to be dealing more damage now to every unit that has a status ailment on it. Alright, and you're also going to be inflicting status ailments with his BB and his SBB, guys. Alright, because he counterattacks with them. When the enemy attacks you, they have a chance of putting status ailments on themselves, which is very useful in this game. Alright, because the enemy is going to attack you. Alright, no matter what you're doing. Alright, there are some enemies where some turns they don't do anything, and they usually follow up with a very powerful attack after that. But regardless, the enemy is going to be attacking you pretty much throughout the entire length of the battle. Alright, so having that on you all the time is extremely helpful. Alright, now his UBB is also pretty powerful. Okay, 22 combo master earth attack on all foes, boost damage against status afflicted foes, random status ailment counter when attacked, and boost attack relative to max HP. Alright, so he basically takes his SBB buffs it up to a higher amount. All right, and then he also adds in a boosted attack relative to HP buff. Okay, so Drevis is good because he can remove and negate status ailments. All right, there are a lot of there's quite a few 7-star units that either remove or either negate status ailments, but this guy is the type of unit that I love because he can do both. He can remove and negate. All right, I think that's very essential for things like trials and raids. The more lengthy, more difficult content in the game, that is useful. All right, you may be able to get away with one or the other on the more simple, easier content, but on the long and the lengthy and the difficult battles, you're going to need to remove and negate, guys. All right, just removal alone will kind of put you in a bind. All right, so yeah, that's why he's number 5 spot in my opinion, guys. Good unit, definitely. All right, now moving on to the number 4 spot. Easily, arguably, I can place this guy higher. All right, I can arguably place this guy higher, but I give the number 4 spot to Heavenly Claymore Dope. All right, now you can easily give him this spot because he is a mitigation unit, guys. All right, as I probably don't need to repeat myself, but I will. Mitigation units always get a 1-up just for being a mitigation unit. It's something very necessary for the more difficult content in this game. Without mitigation, you pretty much have no chance at completing any of the difficult content in this game. You will not do it because you will get easily wrecked. They'll do so much damage to your squad, you won't be able to survive. It's basically what it boils down to. Okay, so he's a mitigation unit. But let's talk about his leader skill. Okay, leader skill, 35% boost to all stats. All right, and negates element based damage. All right, now I honestly can't think of any other units that are able to negate that elemental damage. All right, that comes in useful when you are going to, when there's a unit that you pretty much have to have, but say for example they're just the wrong element. Like for example, my last video, I spoke of using Hail as my leader in the Paris trial. All right, Hail is a water unit, Paris is a thunder unit. You don't want her to run up in there without the proper protection. Well, if you had Doke at the lead, you won't have to worry about it. All right, because she's not going to deal any more damage than any other unit would to her, because his leader skill is going to negate that element based damage. All right, so it'll be just as if she was attacking, like as if Paris was attacking, say for example, a fire unit. Won't do any extra damage there. All right, so his leader skill is very useful for that, in addition to a nice 35% boost to all stats: attack, defense, recovery, and HP. Alright, his extra skill is good as well. Alright, not only does he negate elemental and critical damage to himself, but he also adds a nice BC HC drop boost to his BB and SBB. Alright, I think that's very useful, guys. Very useful. Okay, more BCs and HCs on pretty much everything you do. Attack, BB, SBB, UBB. You got more BCs and HCs coming in. Alright, now Doke is a versatile mitigator, guys. He can actually do quite a bit with his mitigation. Alright, and he is pretty much required for at least one thing I can think of off the top of my head. Pretty much any battle where you're fighting an enemy that does a lot of the attack down, defense down, he is going to be one you want to use. Alright, because he can negate that. Alright, excellent stuff. So let's talk about the BB first of all. He's versatile with his BB because in addition to doing the AoE and mitigation, alright, he can remove status elements and boost defense. Alright, so he's going to boost your entire squad's defense and remove all the status elements up off of him. Excellent stuff. Now you go around to the SBB. You still got the Earth AoE and the 50% damage reduction. Alright, but he's going to negate attack, defense, and recovery down. Alright, so the enemies that try to inflict that status ailment on you, they better not use it after you use his SBB, because it's going to be absolutely useless. It's not going to work. He negates it for one turn. Alright, so I believe there's an enemy in the game. It's on, I believe it's Lugina's Grand Quest, Alright, Lugina's Grand Quest, when you're doing the gold mission, there's a boss that absolutely loves to hit you with attack, defense, and recovery down. If you bring Dope to that, man, you can shut that guy down like nothing. You just completely spoil his plans, man. It's just so easy how easy that boss battle becomes if you have Dope and you can just fire off SBB every turn to keep him from doing that to you. Alright, Dope is very useful for that battle, but that helps his versatility. There aren't many units that's able to negate that. Alright, I think he's actually like one of 2 units that can do that. So that makes him good for that, guys. And he also boosts defense relative to attack. Alright, so definitely helps to have that defense boost for him. Now, easily where he shines as well, alright, he's UBB. Alright, now he's not the only one that can do this, but he's one of few. Alright, I want to say there's no more than 10 units. I'm pretty positive there's no more than 10 units that's able to do this. But that 75% damage reduction for 3 turns, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, guys. And that is the highest turn number, I'm pretty sure, to date, as far as 75% mitigation is 3 turns. I don't think there's any units out there doing anything for 4 turns like that. There's no way. He'd be super OP. Alright? But in addition to that, powerful AoE, 75% damage for 3 turns reduced. He also increases the entire squad's attack, defense, and recovery for 3 turns. And I want to say that's either about 200 or 250%. I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but it's by quite a bit. Alright, so your squad basically turns into just a tank. Alright, they're going to be able to take a lot of damage. They're going to be able to deal a lot of damage for the next 3 turns after using that UBB. Alright, so Dope, super useful mitigator, guys. Easily one of the top mitigators in the game right now, in my opinion. He's like easily one of like top 3, I want to say. Alright, so Dope, he's that guy. He's good, very solid, easily deserves the number 4, if not the number 3 spot. Alright, some of you may disagree with me on number 3, but I'm going to show you my number 3 pick anyway. Alright, now my number 3 I don't have at 7-star yet, mainly because I ran out of earth leveling materials. Alright, I don't have any earth crystals, I don't have any earth guides. Alright, I'm fresh out, so I'm hoping like super honor summons or something comes around. Half energy vortex is coming up soon. Alright, so I'll be able to do some metal parade runs then, but until then, she is only a 6-star unit. But number 3 spot for me, I'm gonna go to this unit right here, guys. Alright, so number 3 pick for me goes to Estelle, guys. Alright, now I'm going to be, even though mine is a 6-star, I'm going to be talking about what she's capable of as a 7-star unit, guys. Alright, because mine's not done yet. So I'll go ahead and throw her information off to the left side as well, because I only have the 6-star info here. You don't want to see that. That's because it's not what she's capable of at her max potential. So I'm not even going to show you this 6-star information. I'm going to put the 7-star information off to the left side. So take a look over there. Alright, at 7-star, her name is Peacock Xena Estelle. Alright, so why I think this unit is so good? Overdrive gauge, guys. Overdrive, 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 and overdrive. This unit excels at it. Alright, take a look at that leader skill. 40% boost to max HP defense, boost BB gauge each turn, and boost overdrive gauge fill rate. Alright, now tack that on with her BB. Check out what it says in her BB. Slightly boosts overdrive gauge. Check out the SBB. Slightly boosts overdrive gauge. Alright, so one of the things Estelle excels at, keeping that overdrive gauge going. Alright, so in the lengthier content where you're pretty much dependent on needing that overdrive gauge quickly, or on certain HP thresholds or whatever it may be, this unit can help pretty much make certain that you're going to have that overdrive gauge ready to go when you need it. Okay, she excels at it. Alright, another thing that she excels at, take a look at her BB and SBB. Alright, The BB gradually recovers BB gauge for 3 turns. The SBB gradually recovers BB gauge for 3 turns and boosts the BB gauge fill rate for 3 turns. Alright? Now pair that with her extra skill, guys. Adds gradual HP recovery to BB and SBB for 3 turns. Alright? So this unit here, guys, oh my goodness, I'm in love with her because she's so nice. She's going to keep that overdrive gauge filled, and you're going to have HOT and BOT pretty much all the time. All right, all the time you're going to be getting a little bit of BB gauge, you're going to be getting a little bit of HOP, you're going to be getting a little bit of overdrive gauge every turn. All right, that is a lot more useful than one may think. All right, so that's why I give her the number 3 spot, guys. All right, there aren't many units that are able to give HOT and BOT at the same time, on the same turn, by themselves. There aren't many units capable of doing that, but she can. Alright, and as far as a unit being able to boost the overdrive gauge on leader skill, BB and SBB, she can. Alright, I don't think there's any other units that could do it on BB, SBB, and leader skill. Alright, there are some units out there that can leave you with about 25% BB gauge on the UBB. Alright, there's a couple units out there that can do that. And there is another unit, one that comes to my head is Lucius, that can give you the overdrive gauge boost on leader skill. But Lucius doesn't do it on BB and SBB. She does. Alright, so when it comes to that, she's in. Alright, she is it. So for raid, for trials, the more lengthy content, you're going to have more UBBs pop off than anyone who isn't using her as leader. I can tell you that right now. So that's why I like her so much, guys. Okay, what she does for your overdrive gauge is phenomenal. She's going to keep that overdrive and those UBBs popping off, like probably I want to say everywhere. I mean, the first time it fills up, I believe she fills it up in like 3 or 4 turns. All right, and after you use it initially, the rate at which the overdrive gauge fills up slows down. Alright, with her as lead though, I believe you can get full overdrive gauge from empty in about every 5-6 turns. Alright, even after it slows down from using it the first time. So she is good for that reason. I really love her for it. So lengthy, more difficult stuff, her leader skill along with her BB and SBB stacking with that leader skill to keep that overdrive gauge fill rate going is astounding. That's why I gave her the slight edge over my number 4 pick of Dope. Okay, so there you have it. Now we're moving on to the number 2 spot. I'm gonna go ahead and put the filter back on 7 stars only. The number 2 spot, this one may not surprise you guys too much. Number 2 spot easily goes to Monster Hunter Avine. Alright, now this is a global exclusive unit and she is very OP, guys. Alright, here's why. Starting off with a leader skill. Alright, now her leader skill is top tier for arena, guys. Alright, she is easily top tier for arena as far as leader skills. Okay, 80% boost to attack, 20% boost to crit hit rate, enormously boosts spark damage boosts BB gauge, and raises normal hit amount. Alright, it's the last part of her leader skill which makes her top tier for arena. Okay, any unit that got that for a leader skill is going to be top tier in arena. Okay, and I definitely can throw her up there with Rogan when I say top tier. She is top tier, guys. Alright, so if you're using her as an arena lead, it is a good choice. You can still use Rogan. Alright, she doesn't make Rogan a bad choice. Alright, I would probably put them about even. As a matter of fact, I will put them even when it comes to their leader skill for arena. I think they're very even for that. Alright, now her extra skill makes her nice as well. Okay, boost damage dealt against status afflicted foes and raises normal hit amount when Vorpal Chain Blades, which is her sphere here, is equipped. Alright, this is her sphere, the Vorpal Chain Blades 50% boost to attack, 50% boost to spark damage, and probable infliction of random status ailment, which is going to pair nicely with her extra skill. So if she can inflict a status ailment on the foe, boom, that's an automatic damage increase thanks to her extra skill. Okay, beautiful stuff. Alright, now her extra skill actually pairs beautifully with her BB. Alright, because not only with her sphere does she have a chance to inflict a random status ailment, check out her BB. 28 combo powerful earth attack on all foes, spark damage, boost BB gauge, probable infliction of random status ailment, and boost damage against status afflicted foes. You see that? Pairs wonderfully with her extra skill, that BB. Okay. Now her BB is the only thing that gives her the BB gauge on spark. All right. Her lethal skill also gives it. Okay, but her SBB does not. Okay. I think that's one thing that her SBB is missing, in my opinion. I really wish it had that, given that BB gauge on spark. All right, but it's not super essential. I just think it'll make it much nicer. All right, but her SBB is still OP, guys. All right, high hit count, baby, 34 hits right there. Also got that spark vulnerability boost. All right, you got that boost spark damage, which is about 100%. 100%, guys. That's a SBB. Alright. And raises normal hit count for 3 turns. Okay. So, SBB, definitely. That junk is powerful. That is good stuff right there. Okay. And then her UBB is also pretty nice. Okay. 40 combo, 40 hits. 40 hits. UBB. Massive earth attack on all foes. Boost spark damage. And enemy spark vulnerability for 3 turns, and raises normal hit count for 3 turns. Okay, so if you don't have a Xenia, most things that we use Xenia for, her UBB, you can use Avine for it as well. Okay, you can definitely use Avine for it as well. She's going to increase that normal hit count. You're going to normal attack, and the amount of damage you're going to deal, you may not believe it. All right, unless you're a vet. Alright, but otherwise, the amount of damage that you're going to deal with 1 turn of normal attacks is going to be ridiculous. It's a very high amount of damage, guys. Alright, you take out a lot of junk in just 1 turn with it. Honestly, a lot of junk in just 1 turn after using that UBB. Okay, so Avine is a very powerful unit because not only is she versatile, she can do a lot, guys. Alright, I mean, she's inflicting status ailments, she's boosting spark damage, she's raising normal hit count, she's increasing the amount of damage you deal to units with status ailments. It is crazy. Alright, she can do a lot, and that makes her very solid. High hit count too, so you're getting tons of BCs. I mean, top tier unit, guys. And she's useful for just about anything. Arena, easily. Trials, easily. Raid, easily. All of it, guys. She's good for it. Alright. Quest, easily. Grand Quest, easily. She's good for all of it. Alright. So units that are just good for pretty much anything like that, guys, those are top tier units. Alright. And you can use Avine. I honestly can't really think of somewhere where she won't be useful. She's good for pretty much anything. Any reason you want to use her for, she's good. As far as being a lead, though, I would probably only say for Arena. Alright, I wouldn't really use her as a leader for pretty much anything outside of Arena. There's much better choices no matter really what content you're going up against, okay? So, Avine for the win at the number 2 spot, guys. She easily deserves that number 2 spot. She is freaking solid. Super solid unit in there, guys. Alright, now the number 1 unit may not come as no surprise to you guys, but this is the super duper exclusive Zeruiah. Alright, super exclusive, guys. Not only is she a global exclusive, but you can only summon her for a limited amount of time. If you did not summon for this unit and get her in that limited amount of time, as of this date, you do not have her. Alright, they have specifically said that she will be available for a limited amount of time, and she won't be afterwards. Now, I don't know whether or not they'll give you the opportunity to summon for her again. I don't know. I can't say. Alright, but as of right now, if you didn't summon for her before, you do not have her. She has not been introduced to the Summon Gates again since that point. Okay, so hopefully you were able to get your hands on her while the chance was there. If you didn't, throw a rock at RNG, man. That's all I can tell you, because he just didn't want to give it to you. Okay, there are some people that went ham with their gems to get this one. All right, and it's because she's worth it. I honestly, not only is she the top Earth unit, I think she's the best unit in Global Brave Frontier right now. I really do. And if you watch my top 10 video, she was number 1. Alright, and for good reason, guys. This unit is freaking good. Top to bottom, left to right, everything is good about this unit. Leader skill, good. Extra skill, good. BB, SBB, UBB, all of it, good. Alright. And I'm surprised her cost isn't more than this, honestly. There's units that got higher cost than her that aren't better than her. Alright. But that's beside the point. So I got 2 very powerful spheres on, as you see. Got her stats looking really good there. But in case you don't know, let's talk about it, okay? So the leader skill, 12% boost to experience, greatly boosts BC, HC, Zell, Karma, and item drop rate, and greatly boosts BB gauge fill rate, guys, okay? So, as of right now, there is 2 times experience going on in quest mode on certain quest areas. If you got 0i as lead, boy, do you have a 1-up on everyone else. Alright? If you have a 0i a friend, that's even more. Alright? So, people that are going to be level grinding, if you don't have this unit as the lead, you have to explain to me why not. She is essential for level grinding. Alright? And one of the main reasons, in my opinion, why so many people went ham for her. Okay, now there is another unit in Japanese version that's able to do that. We don't have that unit as of yet, but it is 7-star Zell Knight. All right, he if I'm not mistaken, he also boosts experience received, but I think it's only by 10%, not 12. All right, I could be wrong about that because I don't remember it right off the top of my head, but he's the only other unit I can think of that does that right now. Now, I can't think of any unit, and I don't know all of the Japanese units, guys, okay? I'm mostly global here, but I can't think of any unit in Global Brave Frontier that gives a 60% boosted BB gauge fill rate. Pretty much all other units with that leader skill gives 50% BB gauge fill rate. She gives 60. Excellent. Alright, now her extra skill is good for herself. Alright, probable HP recovery when attacked and probable 25% damage reduction when attacked. Alright, so that's a pretty nice extra skill. She might get a little bit of HB and she might take significantly less damage. Okay, her defense is already high because I have a Guardian type, over 5,000 defense there. Okay, now she's also a very versatile unit, guys. Okay, check out the BB. 30 hits, high hit count. Alright, 30 plus I consider a high hit count. Alright, under 30, I mean it's nice, but you got to be at least 30 for me personally to consider a high hit count. So Requiem of the Fate, 30 hits, water and earth, greatly restores HP. She restores a ton of HP, guys, with that, by the way. In case you don't know, she restores a ton of HP, alright? She removes status elements and greatly boosts BC AC drop rate for 3 turns. Excellent right there. But it's her SBB is another reason why she just shines so bright. I mean, you just need shades on right now just to look at this unit. She's so bright. But her SBB, Ancient of Days, 40 hits. Alright, 40 hits. Now, the attack itself is water and earth, but it adds all elements to attack, guys. This unit adds them all: fire, water, earth, thunder, light, and dark. You're getting them all. Alright. She fills her own BB gauge to the max. Now, this unit has a very high BC cost, very high. Alright, she's not the highest, but she's up there. But with that SBB, you don't have to really worry about it, because she fills her own BB gauge right back to full SBB. Alright, adds all elements, boosts BC, HC, and item drop rate. Alright, so yeah, that is freaking nasty, man. That SBB is disgusting. It is just beast. Alright, and then her UBB. Alright, her UBB is only support. Alright, but even though it is only support, it is very good. I wish it was an attack, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. She's still a very powerful unit, guys. Because she's one of few units that can give you that 75% damage reduction for 3 turns. Alright, one of few that's able to do that. She greatly boosts max HP, enormously boosts defense relative to recovery, and enormously boosts BC, HC, and item drop rate for 3 turns. Need I say more, guys? Okay, need I say more? This unit is very freaking OP. Alright, so you're gonna want to pair her up with units that increase spark damage because she is high hit count. Alright, she's sparking like crazy. She's an excellent spark blanket. Alright, if you need a spark blanket, you found one right here. She's great for it. Okay, now I got the infidelity orb on her, boosting that spark damage by 100%. So she's sparking, man, big time spark blanket here. She's good for it. So pair her with someone that increases spark damage, that increases just anything, and she can do some serious damage. Alright, on her own, she's not a damage dealing unit, guys. Alright, it's not her purpose, but you pair her up with enough units, she can become one that can deliver serious damage every single turn too, because she fills her own SBB gauge right back up. Alright, so powerful unit, guys. I really hope that if you could, you did summon for this unit when the chance was there. Okay, she's good, period. Alright, I got a guardian type of her. Would I have preferred anima? Easily. Alright, but her rates were not the greatest, so I took what I could get. And RNG decided to give me guardian, so that's what I ran with. And I couldn't be more happy. I'm good with that. Alright, anima just wasn't in the mix for me this time around, guys, so that's cool. Alright, maybe next time. Alright, now as for our earth units, honorable mention, I give honorable mention to this unit right here. She's been very useful to my squad. Alright, very useful. Honorable mention goes to Libera for me. Okay, got that beautiful anima type, baby. Gotta love it. So, why I gave her honorable mention? It wasn't because of leader skill, I'll tell you that much. I don't too much like leader skills that don't boost some stats, guys. Alright, the leader skills that I prefer, and the leader skills that you're pretty much going to have for most content, has to boost some stats, guys. Period. We got to have some HP, some attack, defense, recovery. Something got to get increased. Alright. So you're not really going to be using Libera for leader skill. Her leader skill it's far from top tier. Far from top tier. Alright. I guess you could consider it medium tier, but unless she's all you got, no one's really going to use medium tier leader skills. That's just the reality of it. So her for lead, doubt it. Alright, unless you're putting a leader up for a friend. That's about the only time I'll see a Libera up as a lead, honestly. Alright, her extra skill it's okay. Alright, it helps her out. Probably slight HP recovery when attack and slight HP recovery each turn. It's decent. Alright, pairs well with a nice anima type, get that HP increase, okay? But what makes Libera a pretty nice unit, alright, in my opinion. First of all, she does straight AoE earth attacks on all of her BBS, BBU, BB everything. Alright. What makes her nice also, she adds earth and thunder elements to the attack, guys, alright? So if you need a specific element, her whole batch gives the capability of adding 2 elements to the attack, alright? So she adds earth and thunder. Roa from her batch does as well, but you may need her more than you need Roa. Who knows, you know? But what makes her really good is on her SBB. She comes with one of the most essential things to completing a raid or a trial or any of the most difficult content, that BB gauge on attack. Alright, she gives that on her SBB. Boost BB gauge when you get attacked. And like I state, for the more difficult content and pretty much a must for the Paris trial is exactly that. You must for that trial have BB gauge on attack, or your squad will starve. Alright, your squad will starve on BB gauge, and without it you will be wrecked easily by her. So she is definitely a good choice for that trial. I didn't specifically use her, but she is a good choice for her, guys, because she's going to paint with the earth elements, which means your entire squad is going to deal increased damage, and you're going to have that essential BB gauge on attack. Alright, that's what she excels at. That's what makes her good. Her BB, not so much. Alright, it's decent. Boosts defense, recovery, and boosts BCAC drop rate for 3 turns. It's decent. Alright, but it's her SBB which is what makes her nice. Alright, she also boosts attack relative to recovery. Her UBB, you're not going to be using that really at all. Alright, any unit pretty much that you're going to be using UBB with, I doubt she'll be the one that you use. Alright, because her UBB isn't really that impressive. Alright, 22 hit AoE earth attack, boost BB attack for 2 turns, and attack relative recovery for 3 turns. There are so many better UBBs out there, it's not even funny. Like, you won't be using her for that. Alright, she shines with SBB only pretty much. Alright, that critical BB gauge when attack. So that's why I chose Libera as my honorable mention for top 5 or top earth units. Alright, so that's gonna wrap up the earth units, guys. Alright, so let me get out of here before I freaking lose my voice here. That's gonna wrap up this video, guys. I hope you found it helpful, enjoyable, informative, and that's pretty much gonna be it for this one. So if you wish to join the Facebook group, the link is in the description down below. Otherwise, I thank you all for watching and hanging out, checking out the video. Please continue to like, subscribe, favorite, share, comment, and everything else. And of course, I'll be back at your screen with more Brave Frontier Global soon. Later, guys.